So, in the last video, you were able to see an introduction to how the AC method works, and I left you with this problem so you could have something to practice on. So if we want to go through AC method, I'm going to take the 12 times the negative 1, so AC would equal 12 times negative 1, which is negative 12. And I need factors of negative 12 that add up to a negative 1, because if there's no coefficient in front, there's a 1. So I could do 4 and 3, but I need to decide which one needs to be negative. I need a negative 4, because negative 4 plus 3 is equal to negative 1, and then negative 4 times 3 is equal to negative 12. So that's what I'm checking. They need to add up to be the coefficient with the x. They need to multiply to be that AC. I'm actually going to do this in a different order. It doesn't matter what order you multiply in, but I am going to flip these when I write it up because I want to show you what happens if there's a negative in the middle. So we'd have 12x squared, and then instead of writing minus x, I'm going to write plus 3x minus 4x, because that still adds up to negative 1x, and then minus 1. So then we have 4 terms. We take them 2 at a time. This is called factoring by grouping. Between the 12 and the 3, I can take out a 3. Between the x and the x squared, I can take out an x. And then I'm left with 4x plus 1. And then like we talked about, you always take this middle sign. But if it's negative, then that's going to change the signs of the last 2 terms. Then between 4 and 1, there's nothing I can take out. So I just take out the negative. And then I am left with, instead of negative 4x, I'm left with positive 4x because I took the negative out. Instead of negative 1, I'm left with plus 1 because I took the negative out. If it helps you, between the, trying to think of a color that I haven't used here, here's the green. Between the 4x and the 1, you can take out a 1. We just don't write it that way a lot. But it is helpful for some of you to be able to see how we're going to factor from here. Okay, so then I take a look and I see what is in common, and what's in common is the 4x plus 1. So I take out a 4x plus 1 as one of my factors, and my remaining factor is what was left in front of those, the 3x and then the negative 1. So again, some people like to show this negative 1 because then it reminds them they don't just write that there's a 3x left. You know what's after. Okay, and then we double check and make sure that there's nothing in common between those factors that we could take out, and there isn't, so this would be our final answer. If you have any questions on the AC method of factoring, you can Google and find some more practice problems, but you're welcome to just let me know too, and I will find some more resources. Thanks so much.